right, I am here with Eric Golub. He is funny guy, comic. He writes for the Washington Post. Wow, that's the other guy. The Washington Times. He's written for Big Hollywood. He's a columnist. He writes for the Tiger Express. How do you say that?
Tiger Express. You said it perfectly.
You have a bunch of R's on it, though.
Well, you know, I'm fierce.
He is fierce. All right. Your bio on Big Government says that you like terrorists like you like taxes dead. Do you think that's why you said that you have 3 fatwas on your head?
No, I have 3 fatwas against me, one from a Palestinian group, and let me tell you guys, by the way, never ever rely on a Palestinian GPS tracker. I mean, I'm Jewish, I know this stuff. I take one wrong turn, ended up at a cemetery, and this really sinister voice says I've reached my final destination. I don't know what it's talking about. I've got one from the National Organization for Women, you know, but who cares? I mean, they just hate me because I point out the truth. Conservative women are hotter. Look, we have Michelle Bachmann and Sarah Palin. They have Helen Thomas and Madeleine Albright. Not fair. There's the Daily Kos, of course, but they're crazy. So, oh, and I did get a lot in trouble because I put something on the internet that said I had a half-naked picture of Muhammad with a goat. But if anybody would have bothered clicking on the link, they would have realized that it was a picture of Muhammad Ali in his boxing trunks, and GOAT stood for greatest of all times. Maybe they just don't like boxing. I don't know what the problem is.
Are you still dating a Republican woman?
No, I knew the relationship was going to fail because my parents loved her. That is the kiss of death. Once they say, welcome to the family, I know it is time to bail. No, I am married to my work, which is helping to get Republicans get elected.
You were dating a Democrat, a liberal girl before that. So are you going to go back to liberal girls, or what's the deal with that?
I would sooner have my eyes gouged out than go with another one of those left-wing lunatics. No. I am a Republican Party animal, and the only reason that I speak up there is because of all those people in the crowds. One of them has to know somebody hot and Republican. Actually, that's a lie. I do it for money, but let's pretend it's about women. On
a little bit more serious note, you recently attended the South Central Tea Party rally at the NAACP convention in downtown LA, right? Is that what you did?
Yes. Apparently, there's this school of thought that says all black, Jewish, gay, and all minorities have to be liberal Democrats. I don't know about you, but that is a diverse crowd of Republicans out there. If you want to see an ultra-white crowd, go to Howard Deaton's Vermont, where all the liberals are. I don't even think they have black people in liberal Vermont. But you know what? We've got black Republicans, gay Republicans, Jewish Republicans. If you want to cut taxes, kill terrorists, and fire this absolutely evil woman, okay, you're a friend of mine no matter what you are. And I'll be selling them tonight, and I've got 3 books: Ideological Bigotry, Ideological Violence, and Ideological Idiocy.
Awesome. Eric Golub, and you guys follow him. I'll put all of his information on the website for you. He's really, really funny, and he's standing up for America.
It's the only country we got. I mean, come on. Every day I wake up and I say, thank God I have my eyes, thank God I have my ears, and thank God that I'm not French.
I am here with Bamboo Bob. He's a radio host, and he allegedly spanks liberals 24/7. What's that all about, and what liberals have you spanked lately?
Well, this afternoon, as a matter of fact, I went up and down Hollywood Boulevard, and I spanked liberals like you wouldn't believe. Marilyn Monroe, Wonder Woman, you name it. The Baywatch chicks, they all got spanked on Hollywood Boulevard. Bamboo Bob is bringing conservatism back, and it's going to be cool to be conservative. That's just the way it is. No suits, no pasty white fat rich guys that everybody demonizes. It is now going to be socially acceptable for these we have got to fight the MTV crowd and the pop culture that Hollywood has put a stranglehold on our youth, and we've got to make it cool to be conservative. That's just the way it is. Not only that, but I love Mike Huckabee, but church jokes don't cut it with the crowd that's watching Dancing with My Favorite Fatty, right? We've got to be able to relate to the people on their terms. They grew up in a different culture. Everything's high-tech now, and I'm sorry. These Tea Parties have basically politically overcorrected themselves by being called racist, and now when they started out a couple of years ago, what happened? 2 years ago, you go to a Tea Party, everybody had signs, they had their faces painted, they were in an uproar over the taxes and how the liberal bent of the country has taken shape with the Marxists in the White House. And what have we done? As soon as they pulled out the race card and said all those little white people out there at those tea parties are racist, what did they do? They started politically correcting themselves because everybody's scared to be called a racist. And what happened? Now you go to one of those tea parties, it's like a Sunday morning Southern Baptist church service.
They put us in our place.
Now we're all just preaching to the choir. Nobody's outraged anymore because nobody wants that 30-second soundbite on TV of the fanatic over in the corner. Well, you know what? I'm the extremist nut. I don't care. Come after me. The court of Bamboo Bob is now in session. All rise. I legislate with the bamboo paddle instead of the gavel from the bench. It started out that I verbally spank liberals ever since I was a kid. But then it just took on a whole new life form. And in order for me to get these kids on these college campuses something that they can relate to, we all remember you were a sorority girl. No? No? Would you want to be a sorority girl? That's not the point. No, you know what I'm saying. But you remember the whole sorority scene, the fraternity scene, all right? I come walking out on a college campus. These politicians, they go and they're preaching to the choir with all of the young Republicans and organizations like that. You're preaching to the converted already, all right? Now, when the governor taps me to go talk to a college campus, I come walking out there. A gentleman walks out in a suit that's a politician. He's the pasty, white, rich, white guy. Everything that they've been demonized to think of what a Republican is.
The stereotype.
Exactly. Between the liberal teachers union thugs to the liberal professors that are pounding this Marxism into their head. But you lost them at hello when the suit walks out there to talk to them. Okay, you take Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, whatever. As soon as they waddle out there on the stage, then you've lost them at hello. You take the freak and you march them out on stage. You got 30-second attention span on these kids, so you better catch them with a shiny object, okay? So it's up to me to create a car wreck and to be able to hold them and draw them in just long enough to see that there's a conservative message coming out of this freak's face.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Beautiful thing. And nobody's out there doing it, and we need to start focusing. You go to a tea party and you look around and everybody that you see is going to be dead in 30 years. Nobody in the conservative movement is focusing on these young people. They're just preaching to the choir, okay? No, we got to make it cool to be conservative. We got to start right here in Hollywood, because when I was growing up, all my favorite movie stars served their country. There was nothing more patriotic in the United States than Hollywood Boulevard. MGM, Warner Brothers, everybody. All of our favorite musicians, all of our favorite movie stars, they all put on the uniform and served our country. These pathetic men that get manicures now, they're out there worried about saving the whales. We need to save our country and our culture. BambooBobShow.com. I got a fan page on Facebook, a friends page on Facebook and Twitter. And, you know, I push the envelope. Don't be afraid. It's okay.
Other decisional privacy areas like euthanasia, right? The right to assisted suicide, things like that are supposedly under that. But no, I mean, informational privacy I think is more crucial in today's day and age with all the technology. I just saw a story the other day in Florida. There's two girls and they are here overseas on some sort of internship, and they find out that their landlord had put in the smoke detectors in the apartment cameras. So they're showering.
Where?
In their apartment.
No, where is that?
Florida. Yeah. So these two girls come over from Europe to do an internship. They get an apartment, and they find out 3 months later that there's been a camera that's hooked up to Wi-Fi for 3 months in their apartment. So, you know, between that...
Do you think... I am paranoid every time I go in a hotel or anywhere these days. Do you think that there's... How much privacy do you think we really have in the world right now?
Well... I mean, this is the complex thing. Our right to privacy depends on the legal right to privacy right now, it being protected. And there's the reasonable expectation of privacy test. Have you heard of that? Okay, so right now, the reason that the TSA can do everything that it's doing, that the government can, for instance, take all the information off of your cell phone incident to an arrest and things like that, is because the test is a reasonable expectation of privacy test. And what it asks is whether your expectation of privacy is something that you actually hold. Do you have that expectation? And second, whether society is prepared to recognize that expectation as reasonable. And so when you think of how is it that society determines, it's through a judge. So some judge decides whether your expectation is reasonable. By what standard, who knows? He's balancing supposedly various factors. And I think that's a lousy way to protect privacy. I'd rather have it protected on a lot more traditional grounds through property and contract rights. And that's what I do in my scholarship. I go for a traditional basis of property and contract. But of course, with the way property and contract rights are not protected today, I don't know how well we do on that foundation. So in a way, I think privacy has been this Band-Aid to cover up for the fact that our property and contract rights have been eroded. That's my scholarship in a nutshell. You can check out my blog at don'tletitgo.com. And it's named after an essay by Ayn Rand, the philosopher. And she has an essay say, don't let it go. Don't let the American sense of life go, because it's the American sense of life really that's saving us right now. The explicit philosophy that's held in the culture and in the media is terrible. And it's only American sense of life as evidenced by the Tea Party. You know, the Tea Party right now is evidence of that tremendous sense of life that, you know, says, don't tread on me. And that's what I want to save.
You can find Eric Golub's articles at bighollywood.com and thetigerexpress.com. And make sure you look for Bamboo Bob at thebamboobobshow.com. Yes, he's a character. And yes, I did think he was Mickey Rourke at first. But he has a huge heart and a great, great love for our country. And that wraps up all my interviews from the Republican Party Animals 2011 Hollywood Bash. Watch for more of my exclusive interviews right here on Patriot Update. And thank you so much to my cameraman, Jason P. Robbins, and to Stuart Adams, who put all these interviews together for me, and he does all my videos every week, so thank you, Stuart. Until next time, I'm Anne Marie Murrell with Patriot Update saying, stay safe and keep the faith.